Everything is a lot more simple than it used to be, which I didn't even think about, but I'm single now, right? So I kind of just decide what I want to do and then do it. And so I just feel more confident as well. So I saw them, Robyn and Kody, at a family event recently, McKelty's baby shower, and they came and everything. And I was a little bit not sure, but we were fine. We're fine. It's hard, it's difficult.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, July 24th, 2023, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Wow, there's so much to talk about today. It's Monday, it is time to get going. Let's talk, because Gwendlyn Brown posted her new engagement photos, and it's wild, you guys, to think about how Gwendlyn is about to get married. She left Kody less than 2 years ago. I know it feels fast for some people in the world of sister wives, but in the real world, this would be not that long in terms of like getting out of a relationship and into a new one, but it's also not that fast. So it could have been way faster. But Gwendlyn's engagement photos are amazing. So I want to touch base with you guys about the engagement photos. And then the second half of this video, we will talk a little bit about what's going on with Kody and Robyn, because I was watching a video over on McKelty and Tony's social media, and I figured something out here, or they said something that was so weird to me, and it was about the reasons why Kody and Robyn attended the wedding alone, which is so bizarre. So apparently they brought none of their kids, and they didn't bring any of their kids for a reason that doesn't make a lot of sense, and then they also didn't have some of them go, which also doesn't make a lot of sense. So we're going to dive into why Kody and Robyn didn't let any of the kids attend their wedding. I think a lot of it seems innocent enough, but when you drill it down to what Kody is and how he's trying to control situations, it feels a little bit more about controlling people. So, can you believe it was in April of 2021 that Gwendlyn left Kody? And it was at that time that all of us were starting to put together the cues on social media. Obviously, we figured it out before they ever announced it on the show. By September of 2021, we all noticed that her house was on the market, she sold, and we also noticed she would move back to Utah. Many of us were like, whoa, she actually did it, because she was talking about how she wanted to move to Utah ahead of time, like a couple seasons before that, right? And that was one of the big fights that brought them to pass. Like, he didn't want to move to Utah, she did, and so Gwendlyn left. I mean, that wasn't really the reason why she left, but it was kind of like one of those final straws. The final straw had to do with Isabel's surgery. But so Gwendlyn left Kody, she moved to Utah September of 2021, and now she's engaged to David. So David and her announced their relationship on February 14th, 2023. Yeah, I know, around Valentine's Day. And then by April 13th, 2023, they announced their engagement. A lot of fans felt like everything was going so quickly that perhaps they were actually going to get married super fast and that the wedding would be by like the beginning of June. Well, it's July 24th, and obviously no wedding has happened yet. And according to the most recent records in Utah County, Utah, neither Gwendlyn nor David have applied for a marriage license, though they could be getting married somewhere else. I don't know. They just built a beautiful new home, and they've been busy getting the landscaping done and putting their deck on and finishing everything up. They purchased that house a month before they actually announced their engagement in March. So Gwendlyn and David's whirlwind relationship for some, and then one of those relationships for others of you that are like, once you know, and after 50, everything is different. There's no time to waste. Go girl. So Gwendlyn shared her photographs on her Instagram and said, "We got our engagement photos done. Gosh, I love how we look together. True love, finally found someone, engaged photo shoot." And the photos are extremely cute. They actually have a cute little banter, and they've got photos by the mountains. They've got a photo of them sitting closely. They've got side photos by a door. They're sweet. And the person that took the photographs was in the comments, and she thanked them for the photos and said she did a really good job. She shared her engagement photos a week after Gwendolyn's wedding stuff was posted. So she gave about a week for the wedding stuff for Gwen, gave Gwen her time, and now she's posting her engagement photos. Now, as far as like, is there a date set for this wedding? Apparently there is. Mykelti and Tony said that they have a date, but it's not public, and obviously we don't know about it. So, I'm not sure. I'm assuming probably within the next couple months. It depends on whether or not it's going to get filmed for the show, whether or not they're going to be a part of the show. I don't know. But David did show up in a video on TLC's social media for something to do with like a Barbie, like Christine was talking about if she was excited to see the new Barbie movie. And she was like super excited about it. And he didn't really talk, but it was a cute little interaction. And they sort of introduced us to David. Now, some people, as a response to that, want David and Christine to get their own show. And whatever you think about reality television, with what we cover on this channel, some shows are better than the others, and some families are better than others. But TLC has a habit of ripping apart families with their contracts and with fame. So we'll see. It would be a lot of pressure to put onto a brand new relationship, but stranger things have happened. So Christine and David are super cute together, obviously. They're about to get married, obviously, and fans are obviously excited for her. Now, season 18 is going to start in less than a month, on August 20th. In the middle of that, or before that, actually, last week, there was a wedding in Flagstaff. Okay, so Gwendolyn married her girlfriend, now her wife, her fiance, now her wife, B. And she and Beatrice had been together for about a year, a little bit longer, and they got married. And they, for all intents and purposes, are super happy, and the pictures were gorgeous. And I got some little details about what went down at the wedding. Okay, so here's the tea. I told you last week that Kody and Robyn showed up late for the photographs. So basically, they weren't there when the photographs were taken, and they came only with themselves. So the way that it was explained by Mykelti is that Gwendolyn had made the decision to have her event at a bar. This is also a restaurant, so it's not just a bar, and it was on a rooftop, I think, or a patio. It looks like it was on a rooftop. And so some people had the impression that children were not allowed, although a lot of children were there. So Mykelti said that when she found out where the location of this wedding was, she contacted Gwendolyn and asked if it was okay for kids to be there. And she said fine. And so apparently they had to do like wristbands because those who were of age were able to do alcohol, and then those that were underage had to have like an X on their hands, and they didn't get to drink. And so obviously we saw pictures of Mykelti with her kids. One of Christine's sisters brought her kids. Christine brought Truly. There was a lot of minor children there. And so obviously people assumed, well, if Truly's there and if like Mykelti's kids are there, are Solomon and Ari there? What about Aurora, Brianna, and Dayton? Okay, so here's the tea. According to Mykelti, Robyn and Kody were a little bit confused about the location, and they said that because it was at a bar, they didn't know if they could actually bring the kids. And so because it was at a bar and they weren't aware if the kids could come, they arranged for Aurora to babysit Solomon and Ariella. And so that was the reason that Mykelti gave for why the rest of the kids didn't go. So someone had asked Mykelti, did Robyn and Kody bring the kids? She says, no, they don't come, right? They believe that because this is at a bar, the kids can't go. Why they wouldn't contact Gwen and just ask her if kids could come is a whole other question I can't answer. And then two, the response is, well, so since they don't think they can bring the kids, Aurora has to babysit, which then was like, well, then what about Brianna and Dayton? That doesn't even make sense. Like, if you're gonna like give an excuse, Robyn and Kody, actually give one that makes sense. Because if that were the case, do they really need 3 adults to babysit the 2 younger kids? Like, where's Brianna? If Aurora's babysitting, what was Brianna doing? And why wasn't Dayton there? You know, like they could have gone. So in an effort to make it seem like it was an innocent reason for them not to be there, they exposed something that proves that it's not exactly truthful. And you always know when it comes to Kody, if his lips are moving, he's a liar, because he's a narcissist, in my opinion. And narcissists are all about control. They love to control situations. They love to manipulate. And one of the things that Kody has been doing since all of this split has taken place is he has been not allowing his kids with Robyn to interact with his kids on the other side of things, because I'm guessing he wants to keep them isolated and alienated for further control and manipulation, but it's also as a way to keep them from being poisoned by those that have gone wayward, like the other kids that have left his authority. So if you're not obeying Kody and you're not following his beliefs and you're not following his rules, he doesn't want anyone outside of his sphere to interact with those people over there that are really naughty and they don't follow his rules anymore and they become disobedient. God forbid, Kody, the kids actually talk and interact and realize that you're the liar. Kody likes to keep control of people's relationships, in my opinion, because he can control situations by, one, alienating people from each other, isolating people from each other, pitting people against each other, and then manipulating situations by telling lies and fabrications to each of the people to keep them like at odds with each other. And so who knows what kind of lies Kody is telling Aurora, Brianna, and Dayton about Christine and all of her kids, and Janelle and her kids, and Mary and her kid. Like, who knows what they're telling them. But Gwendolyn has said that Robyn doesn't want anything to do with them. She doesn't consider herself a part of the family. And then I also told you last week about how Robyn had told her that she really, still wanted to be in polygamy. Had she known what she knows now, she probably wouldn't have married Kody, because she wanted to be in polygamy, and she still wants to be a plural wife. She wants to be a head wife, not the only wife. And so when you think of it in that context, right, Robyn probably also wants to keep her kids away from those people, because Robyn also alienated her kids from David, her ex-husband Preston, up in Montana. So Robyn already is exhibits signs of being an alienator, and she does that by controlling situations, fabricating stories, telling lies, dictating and poisoning people's opinions about one another, and really just getting the kids wound up to think that the people around them are don't like them. So one of the things that Gwendolyn has shared about Robyn is she has made her kids feel like everyone's against them. No one wants anything to do with them. Always was acting like the kids were being bullied by everyone else. And so they feel like she's always been othering them. Robyn has always been making them feel like, well, Christine doesn't want to have Thanksgiving with you, and Christine's leaving the family because she doesn't like you. It's a way for them to get mad at whoever Robyn doesn't like. And Robyn then can control the kids. Robyn controls her kids along with Kody. So Kody's going to control Robyn. Robyn's going to control the kids. Kody's going to control all of them and say, you're not coming. And then they're going to tell people the reason why they're not there is because they're babysitting. And I know. Some of you guys are going to say that, Katie, this is a stretch, but it literally doesn't make sense. Okay? It doesn't make sense for one person to babysit and then the other two adults who aren't literally babysitting stay home. It doesn't make sense. Dayton and Brianna then could have gone. And why? And then the other question is, why would you use your older kids to babysit? Why not hire a babysitter so everyone can attend, because it's a family wedding? Well, the best way is to craft an excuse so that they don't have to come, so they don't have to integrate, so they can't get influenced. Kody does not want his kids that he's controlling to be influenced by anyone, by anything, and to hear the truth, because they could potentially wake up and realize, oh my gosh, Kody's been lying to me this whole time. Narcissists love to control situations and keep people apart so they cannot discover the truth. They keep people away from people that know the truth, and they do that by alienating. And so the kids are not allowed to go to this wedding. They tell everyone it's because it's at a bar, they didn't know, and they had to babysit. Makes no sense. Again, you could have hired a outside babysitter, or you could have brought the kids because other kids were there, and they could have called Gwendolyn ahead of time. Once there, apparently, Kody spent time helping with McKelty's kids, like the little boys, and was feeding and playing with them. And then Robyn spent a lot of her time watching Avalon. So she was able to ignore people by hanging out and keeping track of Avalon so that McKelty and Tony could mingle. And then Kody helped with the kids so McKelty and Tony could mingle. And then they're able to stay out of the fray because they're busy. Even though it wasn't awkward, they found ways to occupy themselves so they didn't have to interact. And they've had family functions in the past and everyone's done fine. So Kody and Robyn's weird decision to keep the kids away doesn't hold up weight, doesn't make sense, and to me just feels like another way a narcissist would control a situation. I actually was looking at a bunch of different narcissist websites that have little like memes. So this is actually from Understanding the Narc, a social media website, and it says, what is the narcissist's biggest fear? A narcissist's biggest fear is exposure. Some narcissists will do anything to protect their reputation. They don't want anyone to know who they really are. They don't want people to know how abusive they are behind closed doors. Some people will go to any lengths to not let the public know what they're truly capable of. Okay, so Kody doesn't want anyone to know who he is, so he's going to try to control the situation. He's going to try to manipulate and gaslight and keep people under his thumb. He's going to try to isolate them so that and pit them against each other and create chaos so that they can't find out the truth about him. The biggest threat to Kody right now is that he'll lose his other children by them finding out the truth about him, which they're going to find out eventually if they haven't learned it already. All right, so what are your thoughts about all of this? Are you surprised about the way that they acted at the wedding? And what about the issues what about Christine and David's engagement? Are you loving it? Is it sweet? Are you excited for the wedding and her true love? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.